I was really broke back then. So at some point I had 10 euros to spend throughout the week on groceries and everything else. So when I entered the supermarket, I was literally like, okay, am I getting bread or am I getting eggs? Because I can't afford both.
Wow.
So that was pretty lousy. And then I got a dishwashing job at a restaurant, and that saved me for a few months. Yeah.
So how did your love for fragrance develop? Like, how did you get into loving fragrance?
Back then, I only knew stuff like Avon, Oriflame, these cheapies. And then I got a chance to sample like a box full of, these little vials to choose a proper perfume for myself. So I remember that moment when I was sitting with this, box this size, right? And I had like 20, 25 samples. And I was just like smelling this, smelling that. And they all literally made me feel in a different way.
Wow.
So that's when I discovered the power of fragrance. Like, wow, I feel like so light when I smell this, but then so sultry when I smell that. Something is happening with my brain. Seriously.
Wow.
So that's one of my first moments. And what I chose later on, I forgot the name of. So it was Ghost, I think. But I always thought it was something else. And I tried to find it again and again, and I couldn't. So sort of like spent like so many years trying to find that one fragrance. And I think just by sampling so many, and trying to first find the one and then find a signature scent, I just got so not overwhelmed, but like so interested, so hooked on perfumery and how different fragrance families work and note combinations, this and that. And it's fascinating.
There are certain fragrances that make people feel more confident than others. Like, I don't know if it's a mindset thing, but this is your domain, girl. So tell us all about this.
Fragrances are very, very complex, but they are designed actually to affect or to have an effect on our mind. Okay, so some of them have pheromones, for example, which enhance the sort of the sexiness of the wearer, right? And then certain notes naturally convey, for example, calm. Woody notes, right, that are very grounded, like a lavender. Yeah, so when you wear something woody or lavendery or a bit herbal, you feel more grounded.
Wow.
This is aromatherapy. Yeah. Wow. If you wear something sweet, like let's say black opium, right? Everybody probably knows black opium. So it's an oriental gourmand, and it has coffee and white florals and it's sort of like stickiness, darkness, but it comes across as quite sexy. So it's for clubbing, for going out, and it gives you that oomph, like, oh, I'm walking taller, or maybe I'm swaying my hips a bit more. Yeah.
Wow.
Hypnotic Poison does that. Hypnotic Poison. And citruses alert you. They keep you awake, you know. So they put you in the mood for action. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym, so let me spray something citrusy. Or I'm just going to do something casual, but I want to smell nice.
So how can you balance your energy and create abundance using fragrance?
I have to tell you something a little bit scientific, though, or psychological rather. Yeah. So basically, we all know Freud. Yeah. And so he had a contemporary called Carl Jung. So Carl Jung is famous for elaborate archetype theories. And so he talked about like symbolism in dreams and all that also. And so he talked about collective unconscious and personal unconscious. So basically, we have what he called archetypes that are like basic ideas of how something should be. Okay. So probably if I tell you anything like pizza, you have an idea of what pizza should be like. Yeah.
True.
Or if I tell you, I don't know, matriarch, then you have a picture, which is a little bit more hypothetical or less palpable than pizza, but we have ideas. Yeah. And so the thing is that inside us, in our psyche, in men and women, we have a combination of archetypes that sort of determine how we relate to the world.
Yeah.
And they have to be, ideally, they have to be in balance. So we learn them from our mother and grandmother or women around us when we're little.
Wow.
So what there are male and female. So I'll tell you the male first. So there's the lover, the warrior, the magician, and the king. Yeah, and then the women's archetypes are the maiden, the lover, the queen, and the mother or the landlady. Okay. And so my theory comes in here, exactly. So I found a way how to either balance or integrate the missing archetype through fragrance.
Okay.
Sounds very difficult, but
yeah,
let me know.
Let me get around it, but I'm
exactly.
Wow. Okay, that sounds a lot.
That sounds a lot. Okay, I'll give you an easy example. Yeah, so let's go back to pizza. Okay, so we know that it has basically like 4 elements. It should have. So it has the base, the crust. Yeah, it has the tomato sauce thingy. Yeah, then it has some toppings, and then it has mozzarella. Right, more or less. Yeah, that's the 4
now.
This is the simplest example I could give. And so this is like full package. And then when you order and then you're like, hey, there's no mozzarella, something's missing. This is like you having one archetype missing. Okay. You don't feel complete. It's like, something's not working. Yeah. So usually we have 2 missing. So it's just like having pizza with the tomato sauce. Or just pizza, just the base with pineapple. That's it. That's not really, nice.
So how do you balance it though? Like, how can somebody ordinary understand how to use that to balance their energy?
Well, you have to understand
for themselves.
So abundance comes to a person or to a woman, just specifically because our main audience is female entrepreneurs, right? Yeah. If you have all 4 like in good balance, and if you feel complete, this is when abundance, love, happiness comes to you, right? Because usually when things don't work out, it's because we have some, limiting beliefs, or we have some negative behavioral patterns, right? So we kind of identify who we are and what we're missing. First of all, that's where I help. And then we see which fragrances correspond to which archetype.
Wow.
Okay, so you can share your collection with me. Tell me what you have. Not all of them, okay, but like, what do you wear most? I'll tell you who you are.
There are a couple of Gucci scents that I love. So I pretty much, there are different fragrances that just attract me based on the smell. I think I like citrusy, rosy kind of smell. I like, they make me feel good. I like a smell like the lilac as well. I love lavender also. I know you talked about lavender. Usually I do have a lavender scented base perfume that I use mostly in the evenings, just because I like it. When I take a shower in the evening, I just love how it smells.
It's relaxing. Yeah.
Right. So this is before even knowing all these details that you're giving me. But I just know that, like, psychologically, like when I take a shower in the evening, it just makes me feel good and wanting to go to bed. And so most of the times I just realize that I would just want to put that on me and go to bed. And I feel like I just have a peaceful night's sleep.
You have to understand if you are more like a receiving kind of a woman, or if you're more of a creating kind of a woman, right? So if it's easier for you to like create money or keep it, because unfortunately there's 2 types.
Right.
It's it's not just the archetypes, even though I can tell you which ones attract and which ones keep, but it's also you, as in what kind of an eternity. Okay, that's a traditional one. That's a queen fragrance. Yes.
I think I have one of those too.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this one, for example. Let's take Pamela's example and tell us about this fragrance and how, just whatever characteristics is behind abundance linked to her femininity archetype and stuff.
Okay, so basically there are two that create, that attract resources. Okay, so that's men, that's money, that's benefactors, opportunities. So the lover archetype and the maiden archetype. Basically.
This is for the eternity one you're talking about?
No, eternity is queen. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Yeah, so they attract and they like, citrusy, easygoing fragrances, or something like heavy and sultry. Yeah. And then if you're a queen or a landlady / mother, you strategize and you organize. Okay.
Wow.
So Pamela probably is a queen dominant lady. She has order in her head. Yeah. She thinks, she knows what her goals are, and she also knows how to
She's a creative them. Guess what?
Yes.
Let me tell you who Pamela is. She's a fashion designer.
And
she's an entrepreneur, and she's helping women feel better by creating clothes that make them feel confident and embrace their femininity. So you just said a lot of things that she represents, and strangely as it may sound, it's linked to the fragrance that she just showed us now.
Yes.
This is so interesting. Wow.
Yeah, I think she's a queen and a lover based on that, right?
Wow.
So yeah, definitely. She needs to have things in order and good strategy, good boundaries, good organization. If she's running her own business, because otherwise she would just be faffing around, right? Yes. So one thing is to develop these qualities. We have two big problems as women entrepreneurs. Okay, depending on our upbringing and everything. We either cannot receive enough. Okay. Because we get stuck into like doing too much and we don't know how to receive help, for example.
Yeah,
that's pretty obvious. We don't even know how to receive compliments very often. This is one big issue, that we don't know how to receive. And then another thing is like we don't know how to manage what we have. So we get money and we just like
you lose it.
Oh, where did it go? What happened?
Okay, so let's talk about those. You just mentioned two kinds of women: those that don't know how to manage, and those that know how to receive.
Yeah, how to create and receive. Yeah, because you have to be open to receiving money. Your mind has to be open, but also your energy has to be open, right? Because very often, we all know this lady who says, "Who, me? No, no, I'm not pretty. Oh, I got this dress secondhand. I will never do what you're doing." We know that woman, but it's not real. It's in her head.
Yeah.
So she's not even open to like having abundance in her life if she says these things.
She allows limiting beliefs to hold her down.
Exactly. That's a huge issue. Yes.
Wow. So let's talk about the kind of women that you help. What are some of the problems that they typically come with, and how do you help them solve these problems?
So first and foremost, I help new entrepreneurs. So women who are entering entrepreneurship, service-based entrepreneurship, and they want to start their own business, or they have just started, but it's not generating any profit yet. Okay, this is the main category. And then I've started finding ladies who just want to level up in life. Okay, so they either want to go from one job to another, or from one business to another, or one income bracket to another. So these are sort of my main categories.
So what are some of the problems that these women come to you with that you help them solve?
So problem number one is that I don't have enough money. This is literally what I hear. I don't have enough money. I can barely, pay my bills, and that's it. Very, very common. So then I ask themselves, okay, do you track your expenses? First of all, the managing part, right? Talk about men. Men and money related.
For that question. Yes. You probably talk about men because you're helping women manage both their masculine and feminine archetype, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So JTD, stay on. She will definitely touch on that. So let's go back to some of the problems that you talked about women coming to you with. You've talked about the lack of finance. They don't know where to find money. They don't think that they can find money, or they don't know how to attract money to them, right? So
yeah. So basically, one thing is, where does the money go, right? This is one of the big issues. So then I asked them, well, do you track your finances? Do you know exactly how much is coming in, how much is going out? You wouldn't believe how many ladies say, I have no idea.
Yeah.
That is very common, that you don't know what's going on your bank account, basically. Yeah. So, and then another big category is ladies who say, well, I want to be a coach, or I want to do something else. Like, I'm in my 9 to 5, I'm a bit stuck, and I want to do something more impactful, but I don't know how to start. So then I tell them, well, are you doing it for the money, or are you doing it for the passion, first of all, right? Or are you doing it because you need financial security, or because you want to actually find your mission or your purpose in life?
Right.
Yeah. So there's that. And then there is one more category of ladies who are sort of like in business, but they're not making enough. Like, they don't have enough clients, or they don't have just like enough resources.
Wow. And so let's say I want to take us through a real life situation of let's say a starter. She's just starting off as a business owner. She has all these great ideas. She has her business plan mapped out. One, she doesn't have the finances. Two, she's lacking self-confidence. She doesn't think that she can really do it. She's still battling with limiting beliefs. And three, she doesn't know if she's really qualified to be training other people and teaching them what she knows. How would you help somebody like this to be able to create that balance of energy and attract abundance into their lives?
Well, first I will start with the limiting beliefs, to be honest. Yeah. And this is deep work, actually, because all our limiting beliefs are instilled in our unconscious mind before the age of 7, right? So I always ask them to write down what their family used to say about money and what the situation was.
Okay. Wow.
It's very important. And sometimes they have some trauma from the early childhood they don't remember, but it's sort of like holding them hostage. It's running the program. So then I just do a session, and we do a bit of hypnotherapy, basically, and we see what happened, and we release that trauma, right? But it's always good to just like start writing down what my family said, what was the situation, and what do I believe about money as a consequence.
So your mindset concerning money has a lot to do with you either attracting or repelling money from you.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
This is called money EQ, actually. So
money EQ.
Money EQ, yes.
Can you guys drop some love for Barbara for that? Like, I love that term, money EQ, guys.
I didn't invent it. It was Ken Honda who invented it. But anyway,
wow.
Yeah, so this is our emotional sort of our relationship with money, how we think about it, how we feel about it. So emotional IQ, so emotion around money, yeah. And this is where the trauma usually lies also. Like, why can't I receive? Why can't I make money? What's going on? So limiting beliefs, first thing to clear up, right? That if she thinks that she needs a lot of money to start the business, that's another limiting belief. It depends on the business, first of all. But if she's service-based, she doesn't really need a lot of money at all.
You know, a lot of times people they're blocked in their minds because when they think, oh my gosh, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I want to be an entrepreneur. I need a lot of money to start,
No.
And that's why you need somebody to guide you. You need somebody to help you out and show you the shortcut. So how do you actually help, a lot of these clients of yours that come to get out or to deal with some of these limiting beliefs that holds them down?
So one thing is we need to find them. We need to understand what they are. We need to rewrite them. We need to create new beliefs. Yeah.
Okay.
So very often we hear that money doesn't grow on trees. Very limiting.
Yeah.
Or money comes with hard work. And so this person is used to scarcity, right? It's like money is limited and I don't have access to it. Or I have to work my ASS off to get it, So then we create new beliefs. It's sort of like self-hypnosis, basically. I don't even like to say affirmations because I think it's abused and used, as a term, affirmation. But what an affirmation really is just like self-hypnosis. You're saying something until your mind accepts it as the truth.
I was listening to Tony Robbins. He's one of my mentors, and he was saying this. He made a statement that really stuck with me, and he said, a lot of times people would affirm. They would find themselves standing in front of the mirror and saying, I am this, I am that, I am that. They say all those things, but then they go back and sleep. They don't put in the work.
Action, that's the next step, exactly. Right. Yeah. So you have this belief, but action
doesn't follow.
Yeah. So it's a 3-step process, really. So you find the belief, you rewrite it, and then you support it with actions. For me, it's very hard to believe, it still is sometimes, that I don't have to work too hard to make money. So when I'm taking me time, then it's okay, and I don't have to work on my business, 24/7.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Seriously, I like the fact that you said you don't find a lot of trouble attracting money. And I think that's a good money mindset. Like the fact that you tell yourself those things, it's easy for those things to come to you because your energy is accepting, your energy is attracting that.
But you have to stop stressing. That's one key point, really, because let's put it this way. 2 years ago, I was working, I think 50, 60 hours a week.
Wow, girl.
Yeah, I was a teacher, coach, all those things, and I was just like running. Yeah. And so then I got a different position.
Okay.
And my workload sort of decreased a little bit, and my income increased. Yeah.
Woo.
Which was great. And then another thing happened where it even sort of like what happened is that the income stayed the same, but my working hours decreased even more.
Wow.
So I was literally making the same money with like almost a half of the input, right? And then with the time that I had, I started sort of working harder on my side business, on my coaching business. And so then it started working out. I started getting clients. So basically the thing is like I kind of doubled my income, but with less work, And then you start, when you see that this happens, when you're like, oh, wow, actually, people recommend me, or there's somebody who just sees my post and says, okay, let's do a collab. Or you start building this network. They also say your network is your net worth, right?
There you go, girl.
And this just like start coming to you like from everywhere. And you're like, wow. And this is crucial. Do you take it? Or do you start doubting yourself? You're like, oh my God, am I good enough? Something's going to happen now. Something's going to happen now.
That you don't deserve it. Or
or I will.
Building up.
Exactly. So this is the moment. Yeah. Like like the example you gave me, that lady who has everything already set up and ready to go. And then when she starts getting income, whether she will be able to keep it or not literally depends on her limiting beliefs. Like, does she allow herself to receive and increase, or she just like freaks out and blocks it and just goes back to square one?
Girl, what you're saying here is so deep. Like, it is so deep. If you're feeling this, everybody, I need to see some hearts for Barbara. Like, I'm getting like an aha moment here. Like, you're opening my eyes to so many things that I never like really looked at it that way, right? How you think about certain things is so important, guys. Like, do you think that you deserve it? Do you think that you can? Do you think that you have what it takes? To my ladies that I teach in Global Female Entrepreneurs, I love to talk about the 3 Bs, which is believe you can, believe you are, believe you have. If you have all those 3 Bs always working with you, whenever a limiting belief comes, it will always come. It's always there. It will never go away. But always remember, remind yourself that you can, you are, you have.
Or your thoughts and feelings and actions have to be in alignment also, right?
Yes. Yes.